Says Kenworth, and of course Kenworth means trucks. And standing next to me is Brian Taylor, who's the assistant plant manager at Kenworth. Hi, Brian.
Good morning, JP. How are you? Welcome to Kenworth, Seattle.
Thank you. Well, I'm very glad to be here, and we're going to find out how you guys make these trucks.
Well, thank you. We want to show you how we build these trucks. We're very proud of our units here.
Brian, you're holding some glasses in your hand. What are those for?
Yes, JP. These are safety glasses. All of our employees in the factory wear safety glasses for their protection so that foreign objects do not get in their eyes. While we're making the tour, we'd like very much if you would also wear them. That is, if it'll fit over your big nose.
Yeah. I'll do the funnies around here. How's that?
That's fine. Perfect.
All right. Now maybe you can describe exactly what's happening.
Fine, JP. What we'll do is we'll start at the very beginning of the production line, and we'll start where the frame rails come over to the production line, and we start putting the rear axle assemblies underneath the frame rails. Once we install the rear axle suspension and the axles themselves, then we walk down the production line and you will see the engine being installed in the chassis itself.
I noticed the engines are quite large. Are there different size engines?
We have a wide range of engines. They run from anywhere from 250 horsepower up to over 500 horsepower.
Well, that would require quite a few horses to pull a load.
It would take about 500 horses. If you can imagine 500 horses running down the road, that's what a big Kenworth truck looks like. Once the engine is installed, then we put the radiator on, and from here on down the production line, as you will see ahead of us here, we install all the components that go underneath the cab itself, the fuel tanks, the battery box, toolboxes, things of this nature. Then the chassis is painted, and when it comes out of the chassis paint booth and it's dry, we install the cab, which you can see we're bringing over here now.
And how many of the items are actually built by you people?
Well, we build a small percentage. We build primarily the cab and the frame and components of that nature. We are what we prefer to call an assembler. We assemble components from around the country. We bring in engines, axles, and transmissions and put them together into a custom chassis for our customer.
From beginning to end, how long does it take to actually build a truck?
From the time we start the frame or the cab until the truck drives off the end of the production line, which you'll see in a minute, is about 5 to 6 days.
Well, how do you make sure that all the different pieces have been put together properly? It's kind of like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Well, JP, we have a very high quality standard at Kenworth. We use what we call build paper, and it's like assembling a bicycle. We have instructions that tells our operators each part that goes on the truck and how it goes together, and we build per those instructions.
Okay, who chooses the color of the trucks that are to be painted?
The customers do, just like clowns choose the color of their face.
Oh, that's
how
great.
We choose our colors.
Now, I noticed on some of these trucks, it looks as if there's a cab where the truck driver can actually sleep in the back. Is that quite common?
Yes, it is. We install what is called sleeper compartments, and some of them are small, and some of them are very large. Some of them are like small houses, in effect. And at this point is when we take the truck off of these dollies, which it's been riding on. We put fuel in the truck, which is the diesel fuel which we talked about, and we start the truck for the first time. Once the truck is started, over the next 3 or 4 stations, which you can see ahead of us here, we do the final assembly of the truck. We also preset the steering, do things of that nature. And at the front door, the truck drives off the line. From here, it goes around back, and we'll go out back to test in just a minute, and you can see what we do on test. We go through an inspection. As we mentioned earlier, we're very proud of our quality here at Kenworth, Seattle. We check the truck over again to ensure that it is built the way the customer wanted it. It goes from the inspection station over to what we call a dynamometer, or as the kids can refer to as a stationary road. On this stationary road or dynamometer, we drive the truck in a fixed position, and the test driver runs the engine up, checks the transmission, which is what the gears that make it go, and makes sure that the truck is performing the way it should be performing. Once it passes that, then it goes out on the real highway, and another test driver checks for everything. He makes sure that the windshield wipers works, that the headlights work, all the things that the driver would normally check. And when it finishes that check, anything which is missing or that is not up to par to our quality is fixed before it's turned over to the customer. So that, in a few words, is a walk down through Kenworth's production line.
Well, Brian, I want to thank you very much for the tour of the Kenworth truck plant here in Seattle. And I notice everyone here seems to know exactly what their job is and what they're doing, and a very happy crew here.
We're very happy here. We have a very high morale at this factory.
Thank you very much.